Welcome, folks, back to Midwest Linux Gaming. I'm your host, as usual, Stompin' Llama. We have a variety of games to test today. I'm excited to see if any of them work, and how many of them could work, and how many of them very much might not. Let us load up the database. Because one never knows when you might need to pull up the database for reference. I most certainly have in the past. Especially when a game decides not to immediately boot. Which happens less often than you would think, but surprisingly fine. But enough of that. We need to start with the demos. See if we can't get the first one up and running. Now, if you're not of the age group I'm a part of, you know, the age group of when we growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, especially the 90s, Doom was a very big game. And there was a game given out for free that was basically a wad of Doom, but with running on the Doom engine. I'm not sure how they got away with that legally, but they did. It came free in your box of cereal. It's called Chex Quest. And it was literally just a wad with some unique enemies. And definitely some very unique aesthetics. Now, it was a one-episode thing. You know how Doom comes in episodes? It's a lot of things that Cacodemon reminds me of. And yes, we will be playing an actual proper Doom game. But, that is true. And actually, the Cacodemon is just a beholder, but without the tentacles. Quite literally. And a mouth. They added a mouth at some point. But anyway, I was talking about Chex Quest. And how it was originally an episode of Doom on a wad of an episode of Doom. Well, they made a second episode, released that. You could download it. This was the early days of the internet. So downloading a new episode was an entirely scary thing. And yeah, that was a thing, and especially since it was free at that. That was a thing. Later on, the creator, after on their own time, because again it was like one guy who did this, because of course it was 90s. He created a third episode, I believe, for Chex Quest, which is what we're talking about. And that was available on his website. It was not officially licensed by General Mills, who are the creators and copyright holders for Chex. So there's 3 episodes of the original Chex Quest that have been around. It wasn't that long ago, I don't think. I have contemplated it. They have been added to the list. Mostly because they're going to be fairly short things, so when I'm like in between long games, they're definitely going to be a thing. Eventually. And so like 2018 or so, or something like that. Sometime before 2020, because that's when the HD got released. The original developer got it in his mind to possibly, because Chex Quest started picking up another massive following in the late 2010s. I'm not sure why. I think he got with General Mills, because it is published by General Mills. Like, the cereal company has a published video game on them. The cereal company published Chex Quest HD. with, I think, some of the input from the original designer. And it's a thing we're going to be playing. Or trying to, at least. We've hit play. It is launching. It is claiming it is launching. It has launched. Nice thing is, he built it in the Unreal Engine. Granted, Unreal 4. Audio's awfully quiet on you. Do you have the right resolution? 1440 in windowed full screen, VSync off, head bobbing on, apply my settings. Okay. I mean, this is entirely. That's actually Chex. That's actually That's actually Chex armor. Like, I'm not kidding. This is Chex the cereal, the video game. Came out in 2020. Apparently has a name too, so that's glorious. His name was Fred. I never knew his name because that was never said in the original. And they added these other characters at just for the HD, because obviously Chex Mix, hence the pretzel, the circle thing. These are Chex Mix pieces, and of course the wheat version. Wheatney, yes, because it's wheat Chex. Wheatley is a moron, but that is kind of the point. And then, of course, these are pretty much this is the levels of the original, Chex Quest. But now you can see a level select, including the number of secrets and items and the phlegmoids. Now, the entire premise will be explained to us shortly. It's glorious, too.
Last week, a volcano exploded on planet Bazoik, launching particles of rock into space. One of these asteroids was captured and brought to our lands for testing.
We were investigating these globules as proof of snack life on other planets when we discovered that they actually contain eggs to an evil snack-eating creature from another dimension. When the eggs are exposed to nutritional substances, they hatch into what we call phlegmoids.
2 days ago, we lost contact with the people on Bazoik, including 5 members of the Chex Mix Squadron. We can only assume the phlegmoids have taken over.
To make matters worse, we have found that conventional weapons seem to have no effect on these phlegmoids. However, by recalibrating the phase frequency of our Zorcher, we can send the phlegmoids back to their own dimension.
We need a volunteer to fly to the caverns of Bazoik and attempt to rescue the missing units there.
That's ridiculous. What soldier'd be fool enough to enter a cavern full of unstoppable phlegmoids from another dimension?
I'm from Chex Mix Squadron, and I volunteer. Setting coordinates for adventure.
And that is the premise. Now, the addition about the 5 members of the squadron, that's new. Like, that exists.
Watch out, phlegmoids. Fred Chexter has arrived.
I mean, he did volunteer. He's part of the military. He gets paid regardless. He gets paid a salary. And, granted, this is most definitely low budget. You can tell, but also definitely stylized, and very reminiscent of what the game actually originally looked like. Anyway, we start with our basic weapon, the Zorcher. Which, yes, you don't even kill the enemies, you just send them back home to their own dimension. It does not have infinite ammo. I should stop doing that. What does have infinite ammo is our spoon. We have a melee weapon. We spoon them to death. How this works, I don't know. But it does. It's a game I grew up with. Oh, what is the button? There's a button to open these doors. I can't remember what it is. Oh, it is E. Woohoo! He is gone. Right, they've made some changes. These levels no longer fully resemble the original game. No. That is, this was a game rated E for everyone? Because it was given out free with cereal? So no, that's not a thing. Like, for example, this entire underground section, because this was built on the Doom engine, verticality like this did not exist in the original Chex Quest. Also, most Flemoids, or most basic Flemoids, they're melee. It actually takes a little bit before you encounter ranged enemies, which is an interesting thing.
There it is. I didn't think it was possible, but I feel stronger.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, they even added these new secrets, like this one. Like, the original game was very basic, very simple, but it was Doom for the people, for those of us who didn't have Doom growing up. And I didn't have Doom growing up. This was my Doom. Well, not this in particular. The original one. This one, much more interestingly designed. They even kept the original sound effects, which were distinctly unique, but kind of interestingly weird. Yes, that is true. Also, your health pickups are like bowls of food. It's glorious. It is glorious.
Now that's a nice looking ship. Almost as nice as mine.
Now these guys with the arms, they will shoot if they get close. Again, was originally a game for children, so you weren't gonna get complicated things. Although it did get a little bit interesting.
I feel stronger. I didn't think it was possible.
That is a very interesting thought.
Safety first.
Also, slime repellent is your armor. Also, the vegetables. Another one of those pickups. No. This is a game for... No, the original was a game from the early 90s. Most definitely nothing to do with Minecraft. That wasn't even a... There was... It did not exist. Not even close. And cups of water are your individual health pickups. Also, they don't explode. They just cover you in phlegm and goo.
I better find a switch.
Like I said, a lot of these level designs are entirely new compared to what the original had.
Maybe I should take a look around.
No, they are living phlegm from inside of a person, more or less. Warning! That is a terrifying warning sign.
This key will be useful for opening doors. Now, where is a blue door?
Also, pretty interesting little ship. You've got your command console up here. And your entire energy drive back here that keeps everything running. That is terrifyingly close to you. Like, terrifyingly close. Maybe I can get this guy to actually engage in combat. Oh. I swore these guys actually fired at you, but must be a different one. He got lost. Well, regardless. Easy game, yes. Is there a level of nostalgia for it? For me, yes.
I guess I'll explore this one, too.
And I don't remember the original being that hard either. Again, it was a simple game for relatively simple children. And I was a young child. Although I don't remember them, like, taking that long to actually engage in combat with you. But then again, last time I played this HD game, this HD version, it was so very long ago. It would have been many years ago. This new orb ship is definitely not in the original version. They definitely did do an expansion of the universe in weird and interesting ways. And yes, this is... that's not supposed to do that. That was not supposed to leave. That's plainly obvious that it's not supposed to do that. Well, that was an unusual thing to have happen. If I remember right, they do go interesting ways with some of the secrets, but I never... Not gonna lie, I never fully completed this version, so... I'm actually unsure why I'm exploring the ship other than to explore the ship. Oh, there's a teleporter there. Oh, there's the key.
Must be a red door, too.
Ah, much larger ship. Must come with more crew. Very much the original Star Trek series inspired design. The hoods for examining things close up, the buttons on the consoles, very much the original series of Star Trek inspired. Like, that goes without saying. Did we see what's in here? I've already forgotten. We did not. I think that's everything over here. Yeah, there's the red area. And the floating guys, which are in fact based off of the original Cacodemon. Were originally based off the Cacodemon. And that's the exit. Controls. Is there anything I'm missing? No, nothing I'm missing on the controls. Though I swear there's more to be found. Huh. Like, I know there's an entire bit I missed on the original landing pad. Over there, I missed that. But how do I get back there? Can I get back there? These are the questions that now I must answer. These are in fact questions that need answering. Was that a one-way drop, or was that not a one-way drop? I do not recall. Looks like it probably was. Oh, that's, well, disappointing. Well, that's fine. That's probably just a secret that I missed. Not a big deal. And after all, half the fun is, especially in a game as relatively easy, at least on the first level, as this is the secret, and the secret hunting is half of the fun. Well, things definitely got slimed over here. Yep, I missed a couple. Found half the secrets. Oh well.
This ain't my first level.
And I do like the lines they gave him. He was a very silent protagonist outside of.
Four walls, a ceiling, a floor. This must be a big room.
The character they gave him is actually pretty good. I will say, he's generally a very funny character. He's generally a very pretty good character for someone who literally had no character. The writing is pretty decent. Whoa, where did that one come from? That was right in my ear. Where are you? Which one saw me? That was like right in my ear. It could have been one of the ones from up there, but still.
Freeze, platform.
Oh no. Missed it. There we go. Got on it. A Zorter pack. We don't really need that. Gotta be a way up there. Like all these jumping puzzles, like I said, these are all new. They were not part of the original. Now clearly that's not how we do it. Wonder if it's up there. Aha!
You can't hide from Fred Chexter.
Freddy Chexter. That's your name, is it? Freddy Chexter. Huh. Well, that's a name, that is for certain. That's a name. Okay, what are we trying to do? Clearly we need to get that moving again, which means we need to get up here somehow. Let me do that via is a that way maybe?
Freeze, platform.
I'm not sure this is exactly how you go about it. That's probably not how you go about it. How else are you supposed to get up there? I mean, that's the only thing that's tall enough. Oh. The door. The door!
Keys and doors. That's what the people want. Zorch. Zorcher. Zorchist.
And we've picked up the second Zorter. This one is basically the shotgun. For lack of a better term. This is the shotgun. Though, it's not likely you'll ever actually have a reason to use it over the other Zorter.
Normally, I prefer the stairs. For the famous.
Oh, they don't have the reload animation. It is stronger. But in the original, you see that chip on the side there? That you would actually remove and insert at every firing. It was glorious.
I didn't think it was possible, but I feel stronger.
And there's the plasma rifle.
Now this is my kind of Zorcher.
Again, it was bigger in the original. This looks like a children's toy.
If it's that dangerous, it must be the way. Time to climb aboard.
He's a glorious, glorious character. They're just throwing weapons at us. Actually, it's more the minigun than the plasma rifle. Still. Still glorious. I'm out of that Zortler. Ah! They can still sneak up on you because they are oddly, other than their activation noise, Flemoids are
Spoiled. I better get it out of here.
are quiet. And spoiled milk. Well, you were right about there being milk. It's just been spoiled, i.e. turned solid.
On the right track.
And full of phlegm. Full of phlemoids.
There appears to be even more dairy. I hate to waste all this protein.
Also, living in a breakfast-based universe would be definitely an interesting universe to live in.
Last one.
Oh!
A bit soggy for my taste.
Bit soggy for your taste. I grew up in an era where these types of puns would be a thing. Suppose that's where my tolerance for them comes from. I mean, we're not only talking we're not only talking Duke Nukem, we're talking all the other Duke wannabes. Of which there were many. Camera. Missed 2.
I feel stronger. I didn't think it was possible.
Oh, that Zortler's out of Zort again. Ah! That one... Ah! Sneak up on me. You... politely get rapid Zorched, because I do not trust you. More accurately, yeah, this is actually more accurate to the minigun than anything else in the original Doom. I hear one activating, but I don't see it.
There it is. I knew it. Safety first.
A suit of armor. I hear one activating when I'm over in this general vicinity. Like, where are you? No clue. Transport area. Where? They might be out hunting. That's just a transport area, but what's the transport to? Okay, That led to over here. Whoa! There you are. Right in my face. Man. And they gave them unique voices, too. Like those floating ones, they give a... The most Flemoids are the basic varieties. At least until the later levels when they get a little bit more challenging. Like the caverns were a level that actually had some pretty good... There's the one that shoots. Though it is surprising that they were that smart enough to be able to build those.
Yes, good.
This is the plasma rifle. That's the plasma rifle equivalent. It eats through ammo like something fierce. These guys, I don't want to say they gave me nightmares, but with their whole noise structure, they're not... Yeah, with that noise constantly. It won't keep you up at night, but that's definitely not a noise you'll forget. And that's the first 2 levels. We somehow killed more than 100% of them. Not sure how. But we did.
Man, I love adventures.
Well, we've made it, you know, halfway through the game. In about an hour's worth of time, give or take. And I think we can safely say that this functions very well. Like it does. We ran at solid 60 frames per second. No real problems instituted. Though the volume may be a little on the low side, which is surprising. That's a weird thing to have happen. But hey, for a game that was, I think it was either cheap or free, I cannot remember. And it's been in my library for so long, I don't remember if it was cheap or free. Regardless, if it's cheap, it's cheap. Granted, bit bare bones really for most shooters, but considering what it is, which is entirely nostalgia, for those of us who have nostalgia, it's pretty good. So, I think we can safely say it just runs. I wonder if it's actually in here. Yep, it has gold. They say it needs tweaks, but I don't know what the... Wow, some people are just having problems that don't exist anymore. That's an unusual thing to happen. Huh. I should probably have remembered to open my document. I stopped following that man a long time ago. And for good reasons. is all I will say about that. It all depends on what he was trying to launch. I'm not gonna lie and say everything works. It doesn't necessarily. But what I will say is well, I'll hold off on that because I'm not going to say anything. Left 4 Dead? Did he bother changing the type of proton? Like, what was his default proton set to? Probably was set to the one that everyone's set to by default, which is hotfix. Might have needed to change it to experimental, unknown. Also, what Linux was he using? Again, not trying to throw shade or anything. Not trying to throw shade at him. But having watched him for years, Linus is a dumbass. Very often. And plays things up because he can. He looks for the reaction. Oh, so he was an absolute dumbass then. No shade at Pop OS. It's one of the more popular ones, but I cannot guarantee that its compatibility is high as some other ones, such as even Catchy, the new one. The new one. Oh, that sounds like something absolutely he would say because he's absolutely looking for reactions. I mean, that sounds like something he would say, looking for absolute reactions. I've watched enough of what he says and enough of his... Like I said, I followed him for years. Like, I stopped being subscribed to him years ago. A couple of years ago. Because I just got tired of the absolute idiocy that he would purposefully show on video because it made for decent videos. No, I'm not saying he's a dumbass for running into problems. No. It has absolutely nothing to do with him running into problems on Linux. There are problems on Linux. We've encountered that ourselves. No, he's a dumbass because he's a dumbass. I mean, granted, he runs a company, so he's not stupid when it comes to making a company and running a business. That he does. But he is a man I would not prefer to be around. And I stopped following him a long time ago because I stopped trusting his advice. Because I saw so many times where it's like, that was a stupid decision. Why would you do that? Multiple times on multiple videos and being like, that was not a smart decision. Why would you even decide to do that? And eventually it's like, I stopped trusting his tech expertise a long time ago. Because I saw enough stupidity coming from him being like, you're not the expert you think you are. And I never pretended to be. Like, if a game doesn't work on Linux, it doesn't work on Linux. We've encountered that. It's unfortunate. But I would call him a dumbass. And he does that granted, he plays that role very well in his videos. for the clicks and the videos, because that's entirely the point. He does that entirely for the clicks and the views, because that is his business model. And he plays it well. I can't deny that. For a while, I was one of the people who followed him for the views and such. I stopped listening to his tech advice probably about 7-8 years ago. Because I just got tired of hearing things I'm like, no, you that's not right. As for whether or not Left 4 Dead actually works, I don't know. We haven't tried it. I'll have to up that on the list and see if I can get it to work or not. It very well could work. It very well could not. I don't know. Compatibility on Linux sometimes changes between distributions and where they are in the update cycle. This has been known to happen. But anyway, enough about him. That's not what we're here to talk about. Yes, that it may be. I'm not here to argue what that means. That means it works on the Steam Deck, which is a particular branch of Fedora. That's all that means. That's all Steam Deck Verified means, is that it works on a particular branch of Fedora, known as SteamOS. It should work on every other version of Linux. I don't know. We can try it. We can attempt a download of it and see whether or not it actually launches. Oh, it's only 6 gigabytes. It should not take long to install. Oh, it's a pretty quick shader caching. While that's going on, we'll make a minor adjustment and a pivot to one of those. Let's check out Doom 64 and see if it decides to work with us or anyone. Oh. It would appear Doom 64 decides to work. We will check out Left 4 Dead as a sudden thing. But honestly, I stopped following Linus long ago. I stopped trusting what he says a long time ago. But that is entirely a me thing. If you still like what he does, go for it. Who am I to tell you what to enjoy? It is not my place in life. Yep, Bethesda. This is Doom 64. Right. Doom 64 has no up and down look mouse movement. That's gonna take getting used to. It seems to run well. Turn down that. Borderless. Yeah, that looks all correct. Doom 64 is the forgotten Doom game of the original Doom games. Everyone forgets Doom 64 existed. Perhaps rightly so. After all, it was only on the Nintendo 64. Ah, I cannot get his items. Such a disappointment. Oh, right, the double chainsaw. I forgot Doom 64 has some interesting things going on. That's the blue door. Pinky. On the bright side, if I remember right, Doom 64 does not hesitate pulling out the demons very, very quickly. And again, it has been so long since I played Doom 64, I don't know. That will be the day, and it depending on what you're running. Oh, I had a Berserk pack. Oh, that's kind of a waste. Depending on what you're running, it can. But that entirely depends on drivers. Mostly on drivers and driver support. Yeah, the Berserk is getting me slowly. Well, not even slowly. Rapidly killed. Chainsaw, however, is still glorious. Ah, that lowered it. Yeah, that's fine. Like I've said before, your choice of hardware is your choice of hardware. I can't say, and I would not dare recommend hardware. After all, it's a variety of reasons you would choose one hardware over the other. Okay. I chose AMD's hardware because I'd had enough of NVIDIA. I wanted to try AMD, see what it was like. And honestly, turns out probably was the best of ideas, considering Linux natively supports like AMD hardware. And path tracing / ray tracing was never anything I was terribly concerned with. After all, by the time it gets fully integrated into... Well, that was an imp. By the time it gets fully supported by everything, the hardware will be better. Aha, I knew there was a secret. Oh, come on! Oh. Supercharge. There is something down there. This could be faster. Haha. Oh. Ow. Oh, that was just the way up here. To another Berserk pack? Really? Just another Berserk pack. Okay. Ah, looks like Left 4 Dead has finished downloading. We'll give that one a quick trial. It's entirely possible it'll work, or it may not. This one seems... Doom 64 seems to be running pretty well. That's a possibility. I wouldn't deny that DLSS is normally pretty good. I have never been one to be caring too much about leaving performance on the floor because I buy really strong hardware. And thus, I'm not terribly concerned about leaving performance on the floor, considering I'm never going to use that level of performance. Like, if it hits my minimum levels of performance, that's all I really care about. Well, that was one way to introduce the minigun. I can't say it was a bad idea either. Honestly. Pretty substantial. Pretty alright. Also, all of these lighting changes, they're glorious. Considering you couldn't pull these off in, like, any of the other Doom games. There's definitely technology to be appreciated here if you're... Good lord, that's like the third Berserk pack we found. Light amplification goggles. And I'm not gonna deny that there's likely a lot of fun to be seen with having large numbers of frames go by. But it entirely depends on what game we're talking about. Because there are game engines, like, I think we've come to the realization that the Counter-Strike engine has just reached its limit in many cases. Like, as far as benchmarking goes, I remember that Counter-Strike was a thing. Ouch! Ow. We're trying to get this key. Clearly there's something I'm missing that this thing is doing. This is a conundrum of a puzzle. Well, the light amplification goggles wore off. Because we need this key to progress. Yeah, the id Tech engine is still going strong because they've improved on it and built newer versions. Again, most of that is down to the operating system more than anything. Also, you don't need a mouse that'll do that, unless you've got very specific reasons for it, generally. Something about this. Those light amplification goggles came and went. Because we need the key in order to go there. And I can't deny that that's... if that's what gets you, that's what gets you. You know. Not everyone enjoys games like that. But I also grew up in an era where... honestly, if the game runs, it runs. That's all I truly care about. Frames, as long as it hits a minimum of 30. I mean, 30 was all I grew up with, so... like, if it ran at 30, that's all I cared about. I've upgraded since to 60, but that's all I care about now is if it runs at, you know, 60, which is not hard to do, to be honest. Got to be something I'm missing here. 'Cause that clicks, but that's all it does. That's gotta be a reset. That one has to be a reset. clearly there's something I'm missing. And I'm hesitant to look up guides, though I definitely would. This is an old game, an old Doom game. No telling what they actually intended you to do. Well, nothing on the block. There's nothing in the environment that tells me what to do either. Trying every little thing. We'll come back to that. And I know we need that door, most definitely, but... Gotta be something. They wouldn't leave you just completely in the dark, would they? And this is it. Of the late 90s and early 2000s, they might just leave you in the dark. No environmental clues over here either. No idea, no clues out here either. If this was a more modern game, they would provided you some type of clue. Okay then. Can't activate the switches by shooting them. Yeah, although I will say, from what I've heard, and this is with a grain of salt, though this guy's track record suggests he kind of knows what he's talking about, modders are likely to continue on a downward trend at least for the year. So, with any luck... Oh, Brazil. Oh. Well, that's definitely one way to play games. Although we in the States were always in a similar situation when it came to, like, any Japanese games you may have tried to play. There's something not right. Yeah, because those are down. Like, it had those, and now they're down. We have a speed zoom with the space bar. Like, how do we get you? I have actually run out of generic ideas. Huh, apparently I did have a save at level 8. Well, that just brings me back to there. Well, what I can do... Because clearly, there's a thing. Right, and there were many secret levels of Doom 64. Well, that's a completely useless set of guides. Well, it sucks that we've kind of lost the minigun, but oh well. Such is Doom. Such is Doom. Especially if you forget to save. Which was entirely on me. Oh, the minigun is already here. Right. Okay. Now, how do we get you? Go over there. Now you're over there. Now you're over here. Now you're there, and now it is opened up. Okay, now this is... Now a different one has them lowered. Huh. Oh, no. Oh. I'm just a dumbass. That's all it is. I was just a dumbass. All that did was tell you which one was lowered. I really am stupid sometimes. I really, really am. I really am a dumbass sometimes. Oh, that was stupid. That was stupid and glorious and entirely my dumb. Oh, I don't even have a chainsaw, so I can't even cheese these guys anymore. Not like they should. Wait, that's the way out. That's the way there. That's there. Ah. Forgot about here. Is it just me, or do there seem to be more enemies than previously? Speed across there. These imps. Specters. They're not new to the franchise, but they are indeed invisible pinkies. Or more accurately, semi-invisible pinkies. That is, in fact, a door. It's a door that I'm unaware of how to open. Yeah, Doom 64 is still sprite based. Ow, ouch! Ow, 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 ow! I'm dead. Well, yeah, it was still sprite based. That was entirely me mucking that up. It's mostly because they're very high quality sprites. After all, it was for the Nintendo 64. Like, they're sprites based off of 3D models, a la Donkey Kong Country. Yes, this is indeed Doom 64. You've come in just at the right time for Doom 64. Which I've never claimed to be particularly great at, mind you. Neither the original Doom nor its sprite-based or its future variants never claimed to be the greatest at them. I mean, compared to what they were, I mean, you compare these sprites to anything that you would see on like on the PlayStation 1 or yes, most definitely high quality compared to what else you had. I mean, compared to what other options there were, it most definitely was high quality sprites. Kind of, yes. Right, I'm recalling now. you see those lights? That tells you where the safe zones are. So as long as you're standing in the lights, you're fine. This is entirely a dumb way to do it, mind you. Because as you can see, it is entirely fallible. I mean, you could do that. I'm pretty sure the Doom engine would support it, considering the Doom engine is obscene in what it can be made to support. Oh, of course you restart. Meanwhile, I am almost dead. Yeah, that's true. And I do tend to run these style of things every so often, where I pick 4 games in my Steam library, soon to be expanded to my GOG library or my Amazon Games library as well, and just see if they run, how well they run, and if they meet my minimum standards of 1440p at 60 frames per second. Technically my monitor will do more, but getting Bazzite to recognize my particular hardware setup is difficult because of the weird HDMI splitter situation I have. That's entirely because I'm streaming. So as long as it meets 1440p 60 at whatever its max settings were, I don't care if it'll run higher than that. I mean, if it can, that's great, but I'm not a super picky gamer because I know my hardware is the best it can be, and if it runs that, then well, it'll run. And that's all I care about. We do get games that don't run. Like oh, right. They included terrain deformation. Like, this is something that you couldn't do in the original Doom engine. I mean, you could most definitely, but most of my games will run, most of the games we've tried will run pretty well. And you know what? More power to you. I tend to play with most upscalings turned off, mainly because I want to see how the game will handle, period. But that's a me thing. It not only did it have physics, Doom 64 had, as you saw, a real-time terrain modification. However, mouse look is limited to left and right only. Then again, this was designed originally for the Nintendo 64. That was a franchise known for a game system known for, you know, yeah, running non-Steam games is the difficult one. I actually got, like, the funniest thing, I actually somehow got, and this is a weird thing, the Blizzard Battle.net launcher to run, and it's not supposed to. Like, I can't remember how I got it to run, but I got it to run without the use of a third-party launcher to launch the launcher. It's really weird. I saw you over here, soldier. Imp. I thought it was a soldier. It was an imp. Oh. I mean, for most games that I have played, Proton and Linux have been extremely fine. There's been a couple of them that have needed specific tweaks, but generally that's what the Proton database is for, if it's needed. Because they will provide you generally with any help you might otherwise need. Like, we've run into a game or two where... And here's a weird one I've run into, and I don't know if this is just demos, because it's particularly with game demos that run the Godot engine. They don't read with standard Proton hotfix, and it is a Proton problem. It's a Proton game engine interaction problem, where the game will not read an Xbox game controller, will not read its inputs right. But just on Proton hotfix, experimental solves that problem. So it's a weird problem in Proton's implementation and how it interacts specifically with the Godot engine. And it is mind-boggling whenever I run into that. Oh, I'm back here. Oh. We do have the red key. Oh, we've got the yellow key. That's the one we were looking for, the yellow key. Yes, that's true. And I've recently acquired a new controller that could very well solve that problem as well. As it has both a Bluetooth and an X input mode. Well, that's the exit, they claim. No secrets, but that was everything killed and all items collected. Right, this is when they introduce level 2 imps as well. The blue ones. Not as satisfying of a shotgun. The super shotgun not nearly as satisfying. Okay. I was entirely unaware of that. I do like how they did innovate with Doom 64 here. With things that their engine now can do that it couldn't previously. Like, it'll spawn enemies in plain sight. It'll modify the level. It has unique lighting. Huh. That's unusual. Huh. I fear... that depends on which particular Xbox controller are we talking about. Because I originally had a, An Xbox One controller. You're not wrong there. And I've actually been through several Xbox controllers myself. The first one I bought was was one of the Xbox One ones. Had to have its own special dongle adapter. It was stupid. I've since upgraded to a Xbox Series X controller. No problems connecting it to Linux. I've had no problems connecting it to Linux as long as my Bluetooth hardware doesn't explode on me, which this one... Here's a weird thing. This computer over here, the one that's running the Linux, had Bluetooth integrated built into it. That Bluetooth has since exploded. I'm not literally exploded, but essentially exploded and no longer works. Fortunately, I had a third-party Bluetooth adapter. Cacodemon. That's a cacodemon. Well, Bill's not been in charge of Microsoft for a long time, let's be honest. Most Linux's current problems are the new guy's problems. So, fortunately, I had a Bluetooth vulnerability, a dongle that's plugged in that it connects to. It's perfectly fine. That's true. And if you get years out of a controller, that's not a problem. I just purchased one of the new ones from Nixie, one of the new their Xbox style controllers with I believe it does have TMR joysticks on it and buttons and proper buttons and everything that are... I don't know if they're I don't think they're mechanical, but they might as well be. I anticipate that one will probably last me a long time. A lost soul. How are we going to bridge that gap? Speed can't do it. Elevator can. And I will say, this Doom 64 seems to hold a lot more of the horror aspects of Doom close than a lot of others do. Ah, the 8-bit those are pretty good. Yeah, I've heard much good about the 8-bit those. I have mini controllers that I don't actually use, but I have several 8-bit Do controllers because I have them. We now have a rocket launcher. I've heard mostly good things about the 8-bit Do series of Ultimate controllers, so... I like how the game is just being dramatic about just modifying the level in progress and being like, and have fun. Rockets. That was a double secret, wasn't it? Oh. Not quite fast enough, huh? There we go. That was just kind of a secret, I guess. We are missing the red key somewhere. You're not wrong. Nintendo controllers do tend to be a bit on the, Oh, of course it would be back here. Yeah, they do tend to be a bit of a problem. Some of those who do. Although I also have a controller from Nixie, NYXI, to solve that problem as well. It's a, it's a glorious little, GameCube-themed ones that also solves that problem, because they're just better controllers in general. Oh, I guess we've reached the end of this level, too! Well, I think we can safely say that Doom 64 seems to just run. So that's not a problem either. So that one gets an S rank. It ran perfectly for us, no problem. Now, we did have someone mention in chat a while back. Let me just... there it is. Doom. There it is. 64, which is yes, and a S. Refresh. We were just gonna see, briefly, because weird. Granted, extremely low resolution. I'm not sure why it would start at that resolution, but whatever. 16 by 9. Windowed, no border. Okay, that might just need to be fully rebooted in order to properly work. Wouldn't be the first game I've had that happen to. There we go. Yeah, Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. That does sound that is a glorious game. Advanced settings. Then everything up to as high as it'll go. Just a quick... because apparently, a certain influencer was having problems somehow getting Left 4 Dead to work, and I don't know how. And it has to be a hardware-related problem for him. Granted, I have yet to see the actual video itself, because I stopped following that man a long time ago. And apparently it would just crash on him after 5 seconds. After he finally got it running. Okay. I mean... Mouse 4? I don't have a mouse 4. Not anymore. Oh, that's from my old video game mouse. Wow, it imported my mouse buttons that badly. Oh, that's glorious. Oh god, Steam controller. Oh god, my Steam. I forgot Steam. Reload becomes edit R. There was a time when I actually had a mouse with multiple mouse buttons. Like I played the original Killing Floor for hundreds of hours with that mouse. That was a glorious mouse. Glorious game, too. Well, this was an unexpected test, to be honest. And just a quick one at that. Smoker! Oh, God, I miss Left 4 Dead sometimes. Only sometimes, though. Whoa! Well, that was unexpected. So it has vomited on poor Lewis. That is unfortunate. Ooh, pipe bomb. Anyway, that's enough for a quick test to be like, yeah. Yeah, mouse 4 and 5 are useful. However, that was before I graduated to the MMO mouse I'm currently using. So I don't need a mouse 4 and 5. I have 15 other buttons to use. I'm not gonna lie. Having 15 buttons on a mouse has been extremely helpful to me. And some people like light mice. I don't particularly pretend to understand, but I kind of get it. Not really, because that's not really been a thing for me. Anyway, Left 4 Dead. Well, we did, in fact, test it briefly, and it seemed to work. That was not a planned thing. That was just someone came through. 39 grams. Ah, yes. Some people really like those. I'm not the biggest fan of that. But that's just a me thing. There it is. Left 4 Dead has been briefly tested. That's all that mattered. Anyway, what was the next game? Life is Strange. I forgot about this one. I was going through my library, and I was like, what game? Ah, yes, here's one. You will 3D print a lighter shell. Some people do that. Oh, good lord, why does this game start in such a tiny mode? Why would you start at 720p? That's a ridiculous option. I mean, it accurately displays my monitors, my 4K over here, which you guys don't get to see, and my 1440p over here. That's an unusual launcher. It all does depend entirely on what you're shooting for. Like, I play a lot of MMOs. So it's like, you know, I might as well. And there's like... It's the weird one. I could say things. Because it's a weird franchise that developed. I was not expecting it to turn into the franchise it turned into. But it's weird. It kind of is time travel involved. Kind of. Yes, autosave. It's a Square Enix property. Yes. Can we move along? Can we... Thank you. Mostly for MMOs. It's mostly for MMOs, especially older ones. Excluding MMOs... Oh, there's a couple that are... There are games that are similar. It's actually really good for shooters because I've got access to all options, especially old school shooters, because I've got access to all my weapon selections right on the thumb there. War Thunder. Technically, I'd say War Thunder's a type of MMO, but yeah. It's definitely an online game. Not really MMO, but it's definitely an online game. That possibly World of Battleships. Like I said, like I was saying, old arena shooters. I mean, you could scroll it or go with the mouse wheel, but I find it just easier to just be like, and what button is that? Because my buttons are right here. It's an acquired reflex, that's for sure. Other than that, RPGs such as the Deus Ex franchise, you could argue that those are a type of shooter, but they're an RPG. It worked well for those. Let's see. Actually, I was gonna say Resident Evil, but those ones have been types of shooters. Mostly MMOs and shooters. That depends. This is why I use a heavier mouse. It doesn't. Granted, you could compensate for that anyway with, applying equal and opposite force to the other side, but I also don't play on extremely high DPI. Play features player choice, the consequences, yada yada yada. Will impact the past, present, and future. Choose wisely, yada yada yada. What DPI? Oh, I forget what my settings were. I'd have to look, which I can do. I just need to swap it to the other computer first. Its software is there.
Where am I? What's happening?
Yeah, because I'm also only polling at 125 hertz. What are my... Okay, currently I'm only at 1,000 DPI. Sometimes I have it up to 2, but most of the time I have it down to 1,000 DPI. Generally don't need it higher than that.
Please let me make it there.
Might as well increase my polling frequency. That's not going to make any bit of difference. Anyway, back to where we were in the game. Advanced video. Why does it default to that? That is bonkered. That's bonkers. Confirm. Resync is off. There we go. That's true, and that's why I normally set it at 1,000. Because I can always go into a game and adjust how its mouse sensitivity is. Most of the time I turn it off. I've never been much of someone who are yeah, someone who uses the fingers and the flick aiming. I've never been one to do that. But I'm also not a competitive shooter. Like, I play shooters, but I'm not concerned about being competitive or anything of that nature. You know, I don't do flick training or any of that stuff that people nowadays are doing. I don't play games competitive. I don't play competitive shooters generally.
Holy shit.
I mean, I get it, but that's not generally the games I play.
That was so surreal.
Film little pieces of time. But he could be talking about photography, as he likely was.
Okay, I'm in class. Everything's cool. I'm okay.
From light
You're right. Most do use a low DPI.
to chiaroscuro. Now, can you give me an example of a photographer who perfectly captured the human condition in
I
black
didn't
and white?
fall asleep, and that sure didn't feel like a dream. Weird.
Diane Arbus,
There you go, Victoria. Why Arbus?
because of her images of hopeless faces, you feel like totally haunted by the eyes of those sad mothers and children.
She saw humanity as tortured, right? And frankly, it's bullshit. Shh, 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 shh. Keep that to yourself. Seriously, though, I could frame any one of you in a dark corner.
There it is.
Look at this crap. How can I show
Yeah.
this to Mr. Jefferson?
Yeah, flickering is it's exactly what it sounds like. You have your mouse and you do a quick flick to move it from here to there. It's a reaction training. Like if you wanted to go, let's say I wanted to hit this light here from center, I'd be like boom, boom, and then back to center. With just a flick of the with just a flick. It's all about accuracy and split-second reactions, which has never been a thing I've been terribly concerned with.
And capture you in a moment of desperation. And any one of you could do that to me. Isn't that too easy? Too obvious? What if Arbus chose to capture people at the height of their beauty or I believe Max has taken what you kids call a selfie. A dumb word for a wonderful photographic tradition. And Max has a gift. Of course, as you all know, the photo portrait has been popular since the early 1800s. Your generation was not the first to use images for selfie expression. Sorry, I couldn't resist. The point remains.
Yeah,
that portraiture has
it's
always
definitely
been
a skill that some people use.
photography for as long as it's been around.
And here's the thing.
Since you've captured our interest and clearly want to join the conversation, can you please tell us the name of the process that gave birth to the first self-portraits?
Like, like I have several competitive shooters in my Steam library, which means we'll get to them eventually. But I've never been the biggest fan of them.
Let me think.
You either know this or not, Max. Is there anybody here who knows their stuff?
Louis Daguerre was a French painter who created daguerreotypes, a process that gave portraits a sharp reflection.
I've never heard a daguerreotype, heard of a daguerreotype. I've always heard them called daguerreotypes.
Very good, Victoria. The Daguerrean process brought out fine detail in people's faces, making them extremely popular from the 1800s onward. The first American daguerreotype
I
self-portrait
can't
was
believe
done
I
by
still have this pencil case. I should upgrade to the 21st century.
all about him,
But
and your
I like it
textbooks
old school.
or even online. And guys, don't forget the deadline to submit a photo in the Everyday Heroes contest. I'll fly out with the winner to San Francisco, where you'll be feted by the art world. It's great exposure, and it can kickstart a career.
Yeah, daguerreotypes and the entire history of photography is something I've heard several times over about.
And yes, Max, I see you pretending not to see me.
I realize Don't Nod is an indie studio, but I don't recall the game looking... Oh, I don't want to say it. I don't want to insult it, but I don't remember it looking this
Victoria doesn't wait
severely stylized. That's a tripod, Max.
Man, they have carbon fiber tripods here. The ball head even has a pan lock. God, I'm such a photo nerd.
Max, I'm not a photo nerd, and I understood that because I'm more of a videographer myself. Well, kind of. Not really, but I understand videography to a certain extent.
I also want everybody to know that this photographic world is not for everybody. That's my moment in the camera.
Also, what kind of a clear hipster are you to use a... Oh, God. That kind of camera in the 21st century. No, I'm the very model of a modern Major General. No, not really. I mean, that is a thing that a lot of games do.
I'd never let one of photography's future stars avoid handing in her picture.
Actually, a game that had that particular feature
Do I have to?
is one I've been
Max, you're a better photographer.
one I've been playing a lot of recently is Rise of Ronin by Ninja Theory. I think it's Ninja Theory. It's the ones who made the Neo series. And that one also has choices, and it shows you your statistics on who chose what. As long as you're connected online.
Share your gift with others. That's what separates the artist from the amateur.
I'm not... You know, this patch has more of an, more of an anime style, not anime, animated style look to it.
He even has the best plasma HDTV for a class monitor. Can't wait to watch some more documentaries on this bad boy.
I've heard and seen bits and pieces of it. I don't own it, which is unfortunate in many cases, but not always.
Welcome to the real world.
Then I might send you a special picture. Because Max wants everybody to see how good she is. She plays it so sharp.
I need a serious timeout in the bathroom. Splash water on my face and make sure I don't look like a total loser.
I hate that class. It's so fucking boring.
I don't remember this game looking quite so severely stylized. But then again, I never booted it up until today. Oh, I don't think I ever got that I don't think I ever had that happen in Mass Effect 2, but I also never didn't fully complete it either.
Yes, this poster must stop bullies dead in their tracks.
Oh, this is gonna get smacked by that copyright sound. Of course, I forgot. This is... I did forget. How could I forget? This is very much a you grew up in the northwest of the United States, correct? No. Not even close. Not even close. we are gonna get hit. If we're probably gonna get hit with a copyright strike just for that brief snippet of music. Oh, apparently I'm going the wrong direction. There's an exit. Oh, the bathroom. That's where she said she wanted to go.
Sure has Warren written all over it.
I mean, it might be fine. Besides, I think the music will stop momentarily.
Empty. Good. Nobody can see my meltdown. Except for me.
There we go. I knew it didn't last very long. Need to remember, these people are, in fact, desirous to make films.
I feel like the universe is taunting me everywhere I go today. It all started with that.
Also, would not be surprised if she has opinions on Spirits Within.
I'm crazy.
It has been so long since I've seen Spirits Within that I don't even remember what it really fully involves.
The last time I got a flu shot, I got the flu. Fuck you.
That does sound like several people. That sounds like several people.
I remember when somebody punked the alarm last month. At least I got out of science class for that quiz.
Some people. Not that I recognize that music, I honestly didn't. I'm just like, oh, that sounds like copyrighted music.
Just relax. Stop torturing yourself. You have a gift.
You're not wrong. If the spirits are without are outside of the body, then that is most definitely a problem.
When a door closes, a window opens. Or something like that. Okay, girl, you don't get a photo op like this every day.
It's cool, Nathan. Don't stress. You're okay, bro. Just count to 3. Don't be scared. You own this school. If I wanted, I could blow it up. You're the boss. So what do you want?
I hope you
Yeah,
check
the fate
perimeter
butterfly
as my
was
step
most definitely a thing.
Now, let's talk business.
I got nothing for you.
Wrong. You got hella cash.
That's my family. Not
Yeah.
Oh, boo-hoo, poor little rich kid. I know you've been pumping drugs and shit to kids around here. I bet you're a
Yeah, this is where this isn't where Fate Butterfly came from, but it definitely popularized it in the mainstream.
I can tell everybody Nathan Prescott is a punk ass who begs like a little girl and talks to himself.
You don't know who the fuck I am or who you're messing around with.
Where'd you get that? What are you doing? Come on, put that thing down.
Don't ever tell me what to do. I'm so sick of people trying to control me.
You are going to get in hella more trouble for this than drugs.
Nobody would ever even miss your punk ass, would they?
Get that gun away from me, psycho! No!
And this is when the time travel powers are slowly and utterly discovered.
Whoa.
Oh, it most definitely existed.
How can that be? I was in the bathroom. He shot that poor girl. I held up my hand. And then I was back here.
Likely was. These pieces of time can frame us in
I already heard this lecture.
from light to shadow, from color.
Now Kate is being hassled again. And if Victoria's phone rings, this is real.
Now,
Shit!
can you give me an example of a
Man, I
photographer
cannot believe
who
this.
captured the human condition in black and white?
Okay, if I'm crazy, I might as well go all the way. Can I actually reverse time?
Especially considering she just broke her camera. And that is kind of like the important thing.
Now,
did it.
can you give
I
me an
actually
example
did
of
it.
a photographer who perfectly
I'm
captured
a
the
human
condition
time
in black and
machine.
white? Anybody? Bueller?
Max, don't freak out. Not yet.
There you go, Victoria. Why Arbus?
Because of her
Keep it
images
together,
of
Max.
faces. You feel like totally haunted by the eyes of those sad mothers and children.
She saw humanity as torture.
She did, in fact, just manipulate time.
Ask me a question. If he does again, I'll know this is for real.
Kids call a selfie. A dumb word for a wonderful photographic tradition. And Max has a gift.
I know I'm not dreaming this.
You all know.
Yeah, you'd freak out a little bit if you figured out you could manipulate time. That's kind of an important and a big deal.
Selfie expression.
What if that girl isn't dead yet?
The point
Can I
remains
save
that
her?
the portraiture has always been a vital aspect of art and photography for
I need to go to the bathroom quickly and check it out.
Now, Max, since you've captured our interest and clearly want to join the conversation, can you please tell us the name of the process that gave birth to the first self-portraits?
And she's not even going to use the power to cheat. You're right, she does immediately narrate. This is very much a... she's very casual about this, and she's also... This is very much a young adult novel in video game form. I've read enough of those growing up to know that some of them can be very good, others less so.
I'm sorry. I feel sick. May I be excused?
Nice try, Max. But you're not going to get away that easy. We can talk more after class. Is there anybody here
Shit.
who knows their stuff?
Jefferson wants to keep me after
Louis Daguerre
class.
was a French painter
And I
who
need time to
created
save that girl.
daguerreotypes, a process that gave portraits a sharp reflective style like a mirror. Now you're totally stuck in the retro zone. Sad face.
Very good, Victoria.
What if I rewind again and give him the right answer?
Moreover, the amount of time she can... I think I rewound too far.
Well, Max, since you've captured our interest and clearly want to join the conversation, can you please tell us the name of the process that gave birth to the first self-portrait?
No, she's trying to figure out how to get out of... She's trying to figure out how to get there with more time. I, on the other hand, would use it to manipulate grades, but I also didn't have a need to do that, because school was never an issue for me. But that was a me thing, and only a me thing.
The Daguerrean process made portraiture hugely popular, mainly because it gave the subjects clear, defined features. You can learn more when you actually finish reading the assigned chapters. Max
Damn
is
it,
so far
everything
away.
is the same.
And guys, don't forget the deadline to submit a photo in the Everyday Heroes contest. I'll fly out with the winner to San Francisco, where you'll be feted by the art world. It's great
I
exposure, and it
I
can kickstart
don't
career
know if it's
projects
high
and
school
stuff.
or if it is
Get it together.
like a university,
Don't
but
hide.
no.
I'm still waiting for your entry too. And yes,
You
Max,
can't just leave.
not to see me.
You can't always just leave. Like,
You're not
attendance is often part of your actual grade.
hero.
Yes, Victoria, you still have to do your homework this week. I see you, Max Caulfield. Don't even think about leaving here until we talk about your entry. I'd never let one of photography.
I'm not avoiding, just...
Biding time, waiting for the elusive right moment.
Exactly.
Max, don't wait too long.
That's what she's trying to figure out, trying to get back there. 'Cause she accidentally, the first time she rewound too much. Okay.
Yes, Victoria, you still have to do your homework this week.
Excuse me, Mr. Jefferson, can I talk to you?
And because we haven't seen this one, we can't go for.
Excuse you.
No, Victoria. Excuse us. I'd never let one of photography's future stars avoid handing in her picture.
I'm on top
A
of it.
quote from John Lennon.
John Lennon once said that.
Really?
Life is what happens
Can you
when-
pretend to be even more of a hipster, Max Caulfield?
All the right answers. Good. Make sure you finish working on it by today. I have faith in you.
God, and you can't... Ugh. Honestly, me and that professor would not get along particularly great. He is extremely pretentious.
Time to get to the bathroom. Please, please. I can't tell anybody. They'll think I'm crazy. Okay, Max, retrace every step. I washed my face. I shredded my photo. Then the butterfly flew in.
The butterfly of fate. Took your photo.
Leave them out of this bitch.
I can tell everybody Nathan Prescott is a punk ass who begs like a little girl and talks to himself.
You don't know who the
Max,
fuck I am.
it's...
What are you
I
doing?
try not to...
Tell me what to do.
Wowzer, it's happening again. I need a hammer to break it open.
We're going to get in hella more trouble for this than drugs.
Nobody would ever even miss your punk ass, would they?
Get that gun away from me, psycho!
Holy shit, I can't let this happen. If I can reverse time again, I can help her.
Trying to control me.
You are going to get in hella more trouble for this than drugs.
No way.
Don't ever touch me again, freak!
She's definitely an acquired taste in the character. That much is certain.
Another shitty day.
That did not happen. This cannot be real. I just saw a girl get shot and then saved her. What the fuck is going on? Do not freak out.
Hey, do you hear that fire alarm? That means you should be outside.
I had to use the bathroom.
Girls always use that excuse.
Excuse for what?
For whatever you're up to, your face is covered in guilt.
The alarm tripped me out.
Then trip on out of here, Missy. Or are you hiding something? Huh?
Thank you, Mr. Madsen. The situation is under control. There's no emergency here. Leave Miss Caulfield alone, and please turn off that alarm since that's your job. Hold on, Max. Come back here.
Definitely not my acquired taste of characters.
Are you okay?
I'm just a little worried about my future.
You're sweating pinballs. Is that all you're thinking about? You could always be upfront with me, Max. Or have you done something wrong?
You have to realize this is the Pacific Northwest.
Talk to me.
Seattle, Washington. Choices.
I just got sick in class. Female trouble.
Except you're wandering around like a zombie. And do you think that's the first time a student has used that line on me?
It's the truth. I felt dizzy in Mr. Jefferson's class.
Just tell me what you're hiding. You can trust me.
There's nothing to hide. I got sick. It happens, you know.
There's that Team Toot again. You know, I've heard enough. Don't think I don't know what goes on.
Plus, you have the, if you haven't noticed, the 3 missing persons background posters in the background. Something is most definitely not right in this town.
Please.
No, he
Yeah.
does not buy that at all. I may have just flushed my scholarship down the toilet. Yes, I could rewind and actually tell him the truth.
You look a little stressed out. Are you okay?
I mean, again, I don't know if this is like high school or early college. Honestly, I'm thinking it's late high school. So, yes. This was also like mid 2000s? Maybe 2010 when the original Life is Strange came out. So, definitely there were people who would say things like that. But there's also Pacific Northwest.
I just saw Nathan Prescott waving a gun around in the girls' room.
Nathan Prescott. You sure?
Yes, he was in the bathroom talking to himself with a gun. I saw everything. He was babbling like crazy.
Okay, slow down. Slow down. So now you saw this without him seeing you.
I was hiding behind a stall.
If that's the case, then you, like me, live in a very fortunate and safe area. Not always the case in schools, sadly.
So what happened next?
Then he left. I ran out here wondering what to do. Are you gonna bust him?
This is serious charge. I'll look into the matter personally. Thank you for bringing.
I mean, often they're called.
That's it?
They're not called security guards. They are more called resource officers now at this point.
Please go outside with the rest of your class now, Miss Caulfield.
Of course this academic drone won't do anything since the Prescott family owns Blackwell now. Should I rewind and change my story?
Huh. I mean, there's no evidence that he did other than one student's testimony. Yeah, security on school campuses is not rare. A little. Yeah, they can be found in a variety of places. And generally, yeah, they are a thing.
Max, you better go on outside now.
I mean, there's not been any shootings in my area either, but I'm well aware that some schools do have resource officers on campus. Although I don't know what high school has a fountain in the middle of the freaking courtyard, but that's just me. Or needs signs pointing to where. I swear this has to be a college, in which case that would make more sense. Hence the dormitories on sand. Oh, in Brazil. I mean, it's also not that uncommon in the States either. That much is certain. Which is unfortunate. It is a cinema uni.
Okay, I better get to my dorm and grab that flash drive.
And I think it is college. Yeah, it's a cinematic university. And even my college, which was a not necessarily a community college, but it was a more local college, had security on site. Shoot, I'd be there from when I was going to college. I'd be on college for the entire time. I mean, I'd be there when they open at 6:30 in the morning till they close the doors at 10 o'clock at night. College was fun. And I didn't even live on site anywhere near. So I commuted that entire time. Plus, also, it's a relatively recent enough college to where 98 was when they built this dormitory, and it is in that bad of a shape already. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious me, oh my.
Oh look, it's Max Caulfield, the selfie hoe of Blackwell. What a lame gimmick.
Even Mark, Mr. Jefferson, falls for your wave hipster bullshit. The Daguerrean process, sir. You could barely even say that. I guess you got your meds filled. Since you know all the answers, I guess you have to find another way into the dorm. We ain't moving. Oh wait, hold that pose. So original. Don't worry, Max. I'll put a vintage photo right before I post it.
It's more that NVIDIA referenced the actual scientist, Blackwell.
Oh yes, Victoria. I'll get your bony ass out of my way.
Because each of the two major manufacturers of GPUs have different names. NVIDIA's been naming theirs after scientists for a while. Because you had Maxwell, Turing. Yeah, they've been naming theirs after scientists for a while now.
I could crank the sprinkler up and give Victoria and her clones incentive to beat it.
And it's not even that she's a nerd that is the reason that it happens.
This main sprinkler valve looks easy enough to use.
Except it's not letting me use it. Probably.
I need to figure this out.
What the hell? Are you kidding? Look at this.
Chill, Victoria. It's just
And here's the other thing. It's not that she's the nerd being
Do you know how much this fucking outfit costs?
You look
bullied by the bullies. It's that the bully's also in that exact same class. And it being a university... she chose to take that class herself.
no. Do you understand English? Get lost.
That didn't do it. That didn't do enough. Squirrel? Yeah. It's a lot. That make things these things a little on the unusual side. But also, I'm not a confrontational person. So this entire getting bullied thing was never a thing.
I must have missed something. I should rewind.
What am I? Yes, clearly there's something I need to do there. Yeah, that is a trope for a reason.
There goes Samuel da Vinci to paint the window.
What the hell?
Clearly there's another step to this puzzle that I am missing. Because after that hangs for too long, he just kind of...
None shall pass. Capiche?
Unless I have to do it, I think I have to do it before he gets onto the ladder so he slips.
What the hell? Are you kidding? Look at this. Chill, Victoria. It's just water. Yeah, water on my cashmere. Do you know?
Yep, we've now made it wet. I think we are.
I can't grab that. Samuel is way too close.
Ah, now we get to tamper with it.
Okay, let's see if this works.
I'm not sure what she did, but she definitely did something.
No way! No fucking way! Okay, Victoria?
Oh, Samuel is sorry. Wet paint is not good for hair, nope. Sorry.
Get the hell away from me, weirdo!
Hold on. We'll get some towels. We'll be right back.
So move your ass before I dry.
It worked. Don't mess with Max, bitches.
Can I not just walk by?
Hey, Victoria.
What do you want, Max?
Personally, I take the high road. But given the history that you can already see with these characters, it's not gonna help.
I am sorry. That's an awesome cashmere coat.
It was. But there'll be another.
Well, you always seem to know how to pick the right outfits.
I do have some talent. Mr. Jefferson told me.
I've seen your pictures. You have a great eye. Richard Avedon-esque.
He's one of my heroes.
Then again, it is paint. Paint is difficult to remove from clothing.
Let's get me a towel before they hang a sign on me. You deserve a better shot. Sorry about blocking you and the go fuck your selfie.
That was mean, but pretty funny.
Just one of those days, you know?
I know exactly what you mean, Victoria. I'll see you later.
Au revoir.
Most paint is not removable unless you do that quickly.
I should have played her.
Because even if the paint is technically washable, it wouldn't necessarily be great. You're absolutely right. It was relatively new. I mean, I think this came out before the selfie stick. So, yes, it was most definitely still very, very new. But then again, she also is a, going to a very hipster college, university, so, yeah. Also, that's a very depressed-looking bear.
Home sweet home. My favorite cocoon.
Warren even left me a little message with his flash drive. He's such a goofball.
Also, that's not a widescreen laptop. You're right, it is kind of spacious for a one-person dorm. But also, look at the chunk on that MacBook. Wannabe.
I am so addicted to this site. Look at these vintage beauties. Warren makes me laugh. It's nice to feel like I already made a real friend here. Looks like Dana left me a little post-it note. Great. Now I have to go get the flash drive from Dana's room.
Well, I think we can safely say, even with what time we've played on here, that it runs, and it runs good. We can also say the same about the very short time on Left 4 Dead. 4x3. Yeah, I don't miss 4x3 at all. Mostly because my work still has those. Yes, my work in the year 2026, we still have mini 4x3 monitors on our computers. No, I don't get it. But companies are weird like that. And companies have some applications for those. There's not many of them, but they do exist. Yeah, you've got narrow choice, and they're normally for very narrow reasons. I don't know. It's the same reason they're set to, like, 640 by 400, 640 by 480 resolution. It's not even 800 by 600. It's because I work with a bunch of really old people, and they use these computers, and their eyes can't handle seeing something very, normal sized. It's really weird. Even though they have to... I'm not... And here's the thing. We have to pass eye exams for my work. So we have to be able to see very small things, and yet they pass those all the time, but they really like really having really large letters on their monitors. I don't get it. I mean, I think I used to... What was the first resolutions I was gaming at? I don't know. It was definitely not 640 by 480, but it was like 800 by 600. I think I started at like... I've been relatively high resolution gaming for a while now. Even when it was 4:3 aspect ratios. There was I had a monitor that would do 1200p. It wasn't... I can't remember what the other one was. The other resolution. It might have been 1900 by 1200. So... How old am I? Wouldn't you... Mid-30s. Well, we'll call that. Well, I'm in my middle 30s. I haven't yet hit 40. So my eyes are still in relatively good condition. Yeah, 1024 by 768's always been an interesting resolution. I think that might be at the resolution of my first laptop. I think. No, because my first laptop is a 900p widescreen. So, fairly close. Yeah, definitely on the older side. I'm definitely on the older side. I am definitely millennial. So that's why this whole hipster thing in here, I'm like, I just kind of want to abandon this. The game works and it runs well, and I'm looking to rapidly abandon this game because it's like, I am not gelling with the story. I also know kind of where the story goes, and it's like, yeah. Don't want to go there. This is a franchise I am not and never have been interested in playing, even on a personal level. Just is. And that happens. I got it for had to have been off of one of the Humble bundles, which is why I own it. And I can say that it runs on Linux and it runs well. So, besides, I kind of want to get to that last game, Turnip Boy. Oh boy, I have 2 other Life is Strange games. I didn't even realize I owned Life is Strange 2 and True Colors. True Colors might be an interesting one, because that does not involve Max Caulfield or the other characters. Maybe. Anyway, Turnip Boy is somewhere in here. There he is. And he does tax evasion. Supposedly. I'm not going to say Turnip Boy actually does tax evasion. But I get him. He's kind of a spirit animal for a lot of us. Why does it have a link to the demo? That's weird. Uh-oh. Something's not working. Something's not right. Oh, that would be an interesting thing to have happen. Turnip Boy? I think we encountered a game that is not running properly at all. Like it is. Oh boy. Let us crash that game on purpose, because that is not running properly. That's not a bad one at all. The 5060 Ti, that's a pretty popular one. Let's see if Proton Experimental fixes it. Normally it's not Steam input. Like I said, this has been a problem with the I know specifically with the Godot engine games, because Steam is reading the inputs properly. And now we have sound. We didn't have sound before. So that was a Proton compatibility problem. Yeah, that was a Proton problem. Hey, however long it takes for you to get your first real setup, that's fine. I built my first gaming PC when I was 16, 17, and it wasn't that great, nor high-end. Shoot, I gamed on an NVIDIA 550 Ti till I burned that card to the ground. I've seen a graphics card die because my 550 Ti died on me. And that was years. And then I ran... Hey, you game with what you have. You game with what you have. Apparently, we owe $143,000. Plus interest. That's not a bad set of games. No items. Sad face. I think Turnip Boy robs a bank in the latest Turnip Boy game. They're vegetarians, and that's a problem. We cannot kill the snail with the watering can. $1 reward. It is very much a cute game. And like I said, I think the latest Turnip Boy does, he thinks he does, he robs a bank in the second game. That snail shall not be immortal. They shall die. All snails shall die. Including this one. Ooh, rent money. And the entire thing is, Turnip Boy, he's illiterate. Hence why he tears up everything that has words on it. Because he's a bit of a, silly guy. Shit in masks. He just kind of does what he does, Turnip Boy. Granted, I know this game goes places. That's a very interesting thought. Yeah, hexagonal pixels? That's definitely one way you could go about things. That's definitely a lot of ways you could go about making things a very unique art style. I don't know. Given what a sprite can do, I wouldn't be surprised if it can do that. Ah yes, tier 3 subs back when Twitch was a, well, it's still a prominent platform, but back when it was the only real streaming platform, and tier 3 subs was a huge thing. Well, but definitely not anything going on over there. Boom boots. Now we can kick bombs. Yes, destroy the book on how to do your taxes. He did kind of at least destroy the book. He may have torn down the entire bookcase. I'm not sure. Then again, I'm not sure. Turnip Boy is an enigma at best. I heard that oink. Pigs. Chickens. Pigs. They don't seem to be that tough of an enemy, so... Dangerous pig, you say? That is a very dangerous pig. King Pig. Very much dead. He explodes into bacon! So much bacon! This is very much a Zelda-like of the old school variety. Very, very dangerous pig. Lumber, eh? Ah, he must be down here. Ah, we got the wood. Alright, you guys, you have fun. Thanks for hanging out while we tested out some games, including one I wasn't expecting to do. But, if you can think of any, I will sooner or later have the list be public to everybody, so that all may see. If you have a game you could think of that you want to see tested, leave a comment. I will look and see if I can add it to the list and add it as a high priority list. I'm always looking to try new games and see how they are. Now we can deliver the illegal wood. Extra hard hat. Yeah, I mean it's a good strategy, and it really enables you to run through them and see what you like and what you don't like, and whether or not you really care for a game or not. It is entirely a good way of doing it. Maze game and assembly. Yeah, you never know. And I generally try and do these actually on Monday nights, but this last Monday night was not a good night. Oh, I've heard about that one, yeah. The 64 kilobyte shooter? Yeah, I remember that one. It probably would, because it probably would just work. Oh, now the the IRS is gone. Ah, yes, the pumpkin patch. Oh, that poor phone is going to be stuck there. Important business to conduct, sure. Carrot patch. A small little orange thing, huh? Yeah, I've seen Serious Sam. I think I might actually have it on the list. It might actually be on the overall games list. Let's check, since I have it up. Let's see. No, it is, oddly enough, no. I'm surprised I don't own Serious Sam. That's definitely weird. You figured I would own that. I might have to pick it. I'll have to pick it up when it goes on sale next, which it should do hopefully soon, if it isn't already on sale. It's cheap. I think it's normally cheap enough. I can definitely look into adding that and seeing what that does. It should, if I'm remembering correctly, that game just should run. I'll definitely add that to the list because it should not be hard to track down. Might be interesting trying to get that to run. 'Cause I don't know if that's run as an executable or not on Windows. That would be interesting. Definitely will add that to the list. Face mask. A game of its time. Same thing with the humor of its time. Whoa, no! Grabby, no. No to your grabbiness. Annie the avocado. The cupcake monsters, eh? The pickle gang. Don Turnip Kino. Only 3 McDonald's hamburgers. Unfortunately, those are no longer cheap. Those are sadly no longer cheap nowadays. Ow. I think they're like $2 nowadays, $2.19. They were last time I bought them, and they weren't even that good anymore. Yeah, the Keep 'em Plain ones are like $2 a piece now. What happened is McDonald's got expensive. That's what happened is McDonald's got expensive. For no real reason either. I do remember when they used to be significantly cheaper than what they are. Oh, there's the child. Yeah, I'm not one to necessarily comment on the economic state of other countries, considering I can't even barely comment on the economic state of the country I'm a part of. So it's like, oh, yeah. Like someone who lives in there, you're entirely more knowledgeable than I am. Cat. Rotten cat. Ow, ow. No! And I died trying to do that. Cat. Rotten cat apple. No, 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 no. Bad cat. No! Ow, ow. And that was me mixing up my buttons. That was entirely me just being bad at the game. Okay, bombs are actually an extremely explosive and well done way of just killing bosses. Or at least would be if, There we go. Cat destroyed. Cat destroyed. And cat apple retrieved. Somehow the cat survived. And now power's been restored. We've done everything we can to the little icebox. Unfortunately, I do believe we have to help the Turnip gang. I mean, the Pickle gang. Copy pasta. And we have the fork. Yes, but the cat is also an apple, so I'm not sure how that works. Yeah, I'm not sure how that works. with Turnip Boy. Especially apple cats. I mean, I'm not sure how that works. You obtain all the items and we just shred them. And somehow we have to slip in a hammer. How do you slip that through the lid of a pickle jar? That absolutely does not make any sense. Some of the goop. Well, we do need to help the pickle game gang break out, I think. Or at least, kind of. And there's no reason not to. I mean, it's not like Turnip Boy actually knows or cares about what's going on in this world. After all, he does commit tax evasion. Yes! The proper mobster hat. See here, you say? Yeah, you say? The offer you can't refuse. The offer you can't refuse. The Forgotten Forest. Rabbits. Big rabbits. Oh, Death Swamp. That's joyous to see. Death Swamp. Change the password on her? Good lord, Turnip Boy. Ooh, $2 reward. Ooh. We're moving up in the world. Amazon is not necessarily the best place to be finding them, but you could find them there. And that's why I found my... That's not technically a fedora. It is... Portals. Trilby, that's the term I was thinking of. That's what the term I was thinking of. Technically, they're trilbies, not fedoras. Fedoras is just what they are commonly referred to. Yeah, the endless and nameless brands. Yes, they are definitely terribly annoying. The deer has ran away. I think you can beat that deer. But I could be wrong. Could very well be wrong. Now, this giant mushroom they talk about, they are possibly talking about some type of nuclear war. Possibly. Or at least that's one possible interpretation of it. Push block. Push block. And in you go. Kaboom. Oh, a turnip patch. Interesting. And then you've got all these barrels of nuclear waste. Oh, the deer has grown much larger. He's grown much larger. And he has run away again, even though he's gotten significantly larger. Ow. We need one there. Actually, we need one here. There we go. Now we're thinking with portals. Ha! Oh, that's gonna get confusing more than anything. That poor acorn has been thoroughly corrupted. Multiples of these acorns have been corrupted. This goop. Ah, the deer. Oh! No, the deer. Actually, it's the rabbits that are the problem. Ah, rabbits! Ow, ow, ow! Ow! Oh, focusing too much on trying to explode them with bombs. Ow. Rabbits. Ow, ow, rabbits. Gosh darn rabbits. Ow. Ow. Ow! No! God blasted rabbits! I'll blast it. Him and his ranged attacks, I swear. Now that's not gonna work for me. Okay. Realistically, there's not that much. One of the big ones is Bazite is a what's called an immutable OS, which has to do with how it treats packages and things of that nature. Also, it's mostly a security things. Most Linuxes have you set up a root. Bazite, for some reason, does not. I'm not entirely sure why. But it being an immutable OS is basically the big thing. And it has a lot more... It does have some gaming particular tweaks done to it. Not quite as many as, like, Catchy has, but they're also working on integrating those through a common code base. Because Catchy OS is, I think, one of the newest ones that's considered particularly gaming-focused. Bazite just came out earlier and was the one that caught my attention, and has worked perfectly fine for me so far. Well, in all the games that I wish to play, at least. Now we got the Dapper Explorer hat. And we also glowing slightly radioactively. And a list of all the things we can, in fact, just tear up. That's glorious that it exists. Ah yes, flip-flop. That was back when the first time TikTok was talked about being banned. So on topic are you, Turnip Boy? The graveyard, eh? Yeah, pretty much most Linux things are plug and play, to be honest. It mostly depends on your what protons you have installed, and it's mostly that. Go where the trees rot. I don't have the shovel, man. Oh, I see. Yeah, and I've had to do that before. One of these pumpkins is telling the truth. The question is which. And another shell and an actual another thing that could be a weapon. Well, that was not the direction we needed to go, apparently. Okay, I randomly guessed to the west, so that's just weird. I randomly went the right direction in that maze. How unusual. I think we'll open the bunker and then we'll call it, because Turnip Boy just seems to be running. Well, I think we're actually really close to, like, the end of Turnip Boy. Ow, 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 ow. Bombs dropped. Yeah, we're definitely talking post-apocalypse, post-nuclear apocalypse. Game, what are you doing? Game. I got psycho controlled. That was terrible. Sometimes you have to hurt yourself, it seems. Whatever's in that closet is radioactive. And the radioactive spuds. It's like the remaining humans put themselves in a bunker. Only for things to not turn out well. There they are. The last of the humans. Unfortunately, the radioactive turnip boy has mutated the human. No! Let me go! Ow, this is bad. I've got no way of surviving this. Ah. I don't have any ranged attacks, and that is a problem. Turnip Boy is actually very short. Like, it is surprisingly short. Right, I can set myself on fire. Then set them on fire. That's the bombs. I mean, it's not... We're not entirely done. There's a little bit more, but honestly not that much. Because if I'm remembering correctly, we never get through that final door up there. That's where the last of the humans are. The humans have locked themselves forever behind the door in their bunker. Now, there are plenty of secrets in Turnip Boy to find. But it is... Turnip Boy Does Tax Evasion is extremely short. I believe the sequel does a bank robbery, or robs a bank, is much longer. And a valve. We are part of the mob. We are descended of mob royalty. Basic English for big dum-dums. I think, and I do know, the greenhouse here is the final level. Though I don't know how much of this... I actually have no way of getting over there. I mean, Mayor Onion is in fact the boss. That's a nuclear bomb. He wants to dismantle a nuke in order to learn from it. How clever. I foresee problems with that idea, but I did not see you. It would appear I caused an accidental problem with that. Ah. using uranium for peaceful purposes. Not quite that. On that level, it is a what is this thing? But even Turnip Boy cares not for his father's legacy. We have acquired the final boss. Corrupt Onion went mad with power. And of course, if you don't get all the documents, well, his government will live on, supposedly, or so he claims. But we've successfully committed tax evasion. And that was Turnip Boy. At least the base game.
Done well. But us, we've gathered here to say farewell until next time. So, you can sing along, or don't. Do you?
And with the end of Turnip Boy Does Tax Evasion, that's where we're gonna call it for today. All the games we have tried have played perfectly this week, which is fine. So, with that, we'll see everybody tomorrow, Friday, at midnight 30 for another demo. Not tomorrow, Friday. Why am I thinking that Friday follows Wednesday? It has been a day. We'll see everybody Friday at 12:30, midnight 30, for a demo that I've already posted the waiting room for. So, looks to be interesting to say the least. Well, thank you. Like I said, I try to do one of these types of streams every week. Most of the time, I've been trying to focus down my playthrough of Final Fantasy XI's story, which is entirely voice acted by me. So if you want to hear me do the limited number of 8 voices I can pull off, as I try and voice act an entire game, yeah, and a game from 2011. I think that's when the last expansion we're on came out was. So, that is generally, actually every Wednesday and Saturday. Although Saturdays are at 2 p.m. Eastern, so. I tend to have all the stream rooms posted sometime during the week, although sometimes these variety packs are normally the last ones to get posted, even though they happen on, normally Mondays. But not always. So, subscribe if you want to be notified. You know, everyone tells you to use that notification bell even though it doesn't do anything. Apparently, some people say it does something. I don't know if it does. But, we'll see you all next time. Till then.